Hey everyone, welcome to our Wednesday Live. I'm Debbie White. I'm a marketing and brand expert, and it's so good to be here with everyone. We're doing live brand audits today. We have something pretty cool where you can register to see if you win a live brand audit. I'm going to be doing these the first Wednesday of every month, and we'll see how this goes. We might even add in a third Wednesday of every month. So it's so good to see you guys. I'm going to be doing two different people today, and both of them happen to be on Instagram. We also do audits on Facebook as well. And before I get into doing these audits, I want to say why this is so important. I'm looking at the 3-second view because when you are running your business, whether that's on Instagram, Facebook, whatever social platform you're running your business on, people will look at your profile to decide whether I'm going to follow them back or is this person offering any value for me? And they're going to make quick judgments really within 3 seconds. So this determines your follower count, if it's the right people following you, if they can get a very quick feel for what is it that you do. Is this someone that might be a good person for you, not just to follow, but possibly even, you know, we want them to start with following, but even working with them. So they're making a lot of decisions and opinions about you in a very short, attention span time, literally in 3 seconds. And it also allows you, think about it. This is, if you think about the whole funnel of driving your business, your profile is at the very, very top. Who is this person? Do I want to follow her? Is she going to add value to my life? They're making quick judgments. We want to be able to get all of that information in a very quick pass. And so I start with your profile, I look at your content, and I like to do this, what I call somewhat blind. Like I have not sat and studied in depth these profiles I'm going to audit today because your audience isn't either. So I'm going to interpret what the audience might be getting, what information they might be getting, and things to look for to make your profile even stronger. So when someone's looking at your profile and then they go and they swipe down your content, they're looking for the overall vibe, the overall, what is this person going to add to my life? What is she all about? What does she stand for? All of those things can literally be done in a swipe where you get a feel. And it's more important than you realize. It really does matter, especially that follow back. We want the right people following us back. And we actually want to repel people that just aren't the right fit. We want them to go away and we want to pull in people closer that are the right fit. You don't need a ton of followers to have a very successful business, but you do need to be highly strategic if you have, and whether you have a ton of followers or a small following. You want to be very strategic in showcasing what you're all about, what your brand stands for, what you stand for, what you value, what you want to be known for. And are you telling in-depth stories, or is there opportunities to add so much more value where they would literally pay to follow you? That's the goal. We want our content to be so rich, so inspiring, or so valuable that they probably would pay something just to get your feed. So that's what we're going for, because that allows them to prefer you over everyone else and hopefully to eventually work with you, buy what you have, that kind of thing. So welcome everyone. It's so great to see you. If you want to drop in the comments, those that are here. And I want to add, I appreciate you being here on Facebook. I can only do these live in my Facebook group. So if you're seeing this somewhere else and you want to be a part of this live, you've got to be in my Facebook group. So come join us there. And let's get rolling. So today I have two different people. We're going to start with Natalie. Natalie is a fitness and health expert on Bainbridge Island. Let me get her up and rolling. And she is on Instagram. So we're going to talk about some things here. Hey, so we've got boot camp by Natalie. She does run a boot camp. I do know that. I happen to know that about her. So that's a great name. It's memorable. Let me zero in. We'll start. There's a lot of what I call missed opportunity, Natalie, in your profile bio. So right up here, I love that you say fitness and health coach. This right here, Instagram calls this the name field, but it's very searchable. So on Instagram, the big changes that we've seen is, and really on all social media, is they are using keywords to help trigger where to put you in front of. It's very searchable for someone when they go and search over here. What keywords would your ideal client search to find you? So if you're known for boot camp, you might even want to add boot camp in here. I'm just saying, just to make sure that that's coming up and they can find you. Since you are on Bainbridge, you might want to put somewhere in here your location if that's an in-person type of thing versus doing this virtually. Then you want to have, Bainbridge Island Boot Camp somewhere in here because you have a lot more characters. You're not even utilizing your profile to be able to write some things underneath it. And you also want to have a call to action. Join my boot camp at with a little point arrow, boot camp by Natalie. And then I did notice, I did do a 2-minute look at these before I went live today. And I did click here. If you want people to join your boot camp, you want to have that right front and center when they land on that page. Make it really easy for people to say, yes, I want in, everything they need to know. And so it's just as few clicks as possible to join you. So that's something right off the bat. The other thing, I'm going to go big picture for a second. When someone, sees Boot Camp by Natalie, maybe she comments on a post, they discover her somehow with one of her reels, they decide whether they're going to follow Natalie or not. And they do that, we've all done it, that 3-second scroll. They just go like this, like, oh, wow, Natalie's got an amazing body. Oh my God, she's so fit and beautiful. Okay. So that's kind of the what I got. I was like, wow, gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's the question I have for you, Natalie. I can't tell from your content on the quick scroll, I can't tell a few things about you other than that you have an incredibly gorgeous fit body and that maybe you're a bodybuilder. That's kind of where I'm at. So I would need to know, who is your ideal client? What is your main purpose? And I don't know that from your content. I should be able to tell. What is your main purpose of your content? What are you trying to do with your business? So it would depend. I would need to know more about what you are trying to do. I'm going to just take a wild guess, and I could be totally wrong. If you were trying to promote your boot camp, I would want to see you doing some of the exercises that you do in your boot camp because you're so fit and so gorgeous. Midlife Debbie here is thinking, oh my God, she's unrelatable to me. So I would need to know what you're trying to do. And if you're trying to inspire me and tell me that I could do this, then I maybe need to hear you say that. And the other thing is, we'll talk about this in a minute, but when you do reels, we need to use covers with type so we know what you're all about. There's some pretty phenomenal people on Instagram right now that are workout experts, and they do a lot of they actually do a lot of instructional short videos and their reels with text, with captions of do this, do that, and then they'll tell you who it's for, why it matters. And so I need a more sense of who is this for, why does it matter, what is your feeling? I mean, I looked and I saw like this one got a lot of love, and I love that. I can't do this. I think that's amazing. I wish I could. So I guess I need to know who your target is, because if your target is bodybuilders, well, they can probably do that. If it's not bodybuilders, then I would need you to talk more to how can I help the person that I'm trying to help? What do they need to know? What beginning steps do they need to take? And then how can I invite them to work with me? So there's a lot of opportunity just on Instagram, Natalie, to pull more people in. And I happen to know Pete Salutis, and these are beautiful pictures. I love Pete. But again, I'm not sure if they're conveying I mean, a sprinkle here and there is nice, and maybe a sprinkle on your website, but all these gorgeous pictures aren't helping me as a possible client know, why would you be the right fit for me? How will you change my life? What is your process? What do you believe about health and fitness? What are your thoughts? What are your opinions? These are all opportunities to get really, really clear on what you're here to do and who specifically you want to serve and why. So I think there's a lot here you could do to pull me as a potential client, for example. I put myself in their shoes where this would really matter. I'd want to follow you. I would get so much value out of how can become more fit if I'm even your right client. So lots of opportunities. Let me talk about that for just a minute. Let's go back here. Okay, we're back. So you kind of saw me walk through that. A few things. Why this is so important. We always have to start with when we're going out to get clients, we have to think about who is our ideal client. And I don't want you to think that you can just serve everyone, because then you won't serve any one section of people great. You want to narrow your audience and really think about who gets the best results working with me. Who do I love serving? Where is there the biggest need? And where does that all meet and come together, right? I'm going to throw stuff out, and this could be totally wrong, just as an example. I mean, only Natalie can decide those things for her business. But say she's on an island that skews a little older, because I used to live there. Say that her ideal client is between 40 and 60. They're women. I could be wrong. Maybe there's men. Well, 40 to 60, a lot of stuff's happening. Like they're starting the premenopause, they're going through menopause, getting on the other side. She could talk about those things. See, the more focused you get your audience, she could make people go, oh my God, Natalie knows exactly what I'm going through right now. She's a specialist. See, that's what we want. We want to pull the broad audience into a specific niche. And there's a reason for that. Because then you're known as the expert in this very specific area, and your content can be more focused. It actually helps you create really relevant content that people are like, oh my gosh, this is so good. I love following her. I get so much information. And then, of course, people are going to, can I work with her? Can I work with Natalie? Can be amazing. So that's the journey we want to take our audience on. So, Natalie, I challenge you to get really clear on who are you serving. What are your values? Like, why is fitness and health so important to you? What message do you have for that specific audience? I'm just pulling this out of a hat. It could be a different audience. Maybe you focus on 30 to 50 and they want to get into bodybuilding. I'm not sure who your target audience is, but whatever it is, what do they need to hear? What do they need to see? And as a fitness expert, I follow some people that do really cool moves. And don't think of it as I'm giving everything away. They're going to get so much more doing it with you in person, if that's your business model, or maybe something that's specific for them on a more tailored online course than just throwing things out kind of out of order, if you will, right? Because short videos perform really well. That's what we want to be creating. So you have a lot of opportunity to really amp up your online business and really pull people in. And the other thing is, what is it about your approach that's different? Because everyone has something. You probably have a certain technique, a certain thing that you do that's unique and different. And we want to see that when we're scrolling through your content. So, okay, that was Natalie. Now we're going to switch gears, and I'm going to audit. We have an artist, and I'm going to do an audit on her. And let's see what we can learn right there. So let's go to Angela. This is Angela Moritz. This is her Instagram. And Angela's on the other side of the world. I did a quick scroll, and she's either in New Zealand or in Australia, but she's on the other side. I saw that from where we are. She thinks we're on the other side. So there's a couple things going on here that Angela's doing really well. I just want to point this out to Natalie. Even for an artist, I love seeing little statements sprinkled throughout their work. Um, I'm just gonna say for you, Angela, I love when I did a scroll down here. I love seeing like maybe stick with the same green or maybe 2 shades at the most, like stick with the same. And I love seeing this, like these 2 greens together. But I love that she's popping some text out. So when we do a quick scroll, we get a sense that she has something to say. I want to follow people that have something to say, right? That are really engaged. We get to know them as a person. We get to know what they believe in, what they stand for, and what does her art stand for. And so they're going to start, and again, they're going to just do a couple seconds, and they're going to go, oh, I love this beautiful art. Oh, this looks so interesting. Okay. What's she all about? Her for sale. Okay. Something about purpose-filled living. Okay. Yeah. They're going to decide that quick. And there's a couple things I want to point out that she's doing really well. Let's point those out. She's got the smiling profile to camera that just, people trust people. People like people that smile to camera. They just do. Um, I like that she's an artist, her art's for sale, and it sells, I think we can say this tighter because you only get so many characters. I like that she's using emojis as bullet points. I'd probably add a little space in between here. It makes it easier to read. This one's great. It sells worldwide. I like that. That gives me confidence right now that, oh, it doesn't matter if she's on the other side of the world. I can buy her art. She knows how to get it to me. There's not going to be a problem. I like that. This can be tighter. Inspire purpose-filled living. That's a great, I know this is part of your why. What does that mean in everyday speak? And what does that mean to me, your viewer? I'd want you to kind of unpack that a little bit more. Just what is that? I can tell that's your why, but I want it to relate to me a little bit deeper, a little closer, a little more every day. But I like that. That's your message. So how can you say this a little bit cleaner? And then I like to see more of a call to action on the last line. Maybe it's how you would say this in everyday talk about purposeful to you, and how to this is where you're going to find it, and some kind of find this, get this, some kind of action verb with a directional point down to literally point people to your website. So, and then we have highlights. She's got highlights. That's always good. People look at highlights kind of as like your mini portfolio of what you're all about. And so I haven't clicked through all of these, but we want to keep these current. I'd want one that was about you. I want to know a little bit about you. I love that you have art event studio. You have 2 studios, by the way, so I would take one out. I'm not sure what out and around mean. Music paint, not sure what that means. Avis campaign, I guess you did something for Avis maybe. So maybe it's commercial work. So think about the viewer and who you're targeting and what they would want to know. And then on the quick scroll, she's doing some things, really well. And I want to point out too, I thought I saw that some of these were, well, I think it was back when we had Natalie. Natalie did pin her top 3 posts, which I meant to comment on. And that's always a good practice. If you have something, either you want to make sure everyone sees it when they come in, like what's the first post you want them to see, or it's just exploded and it's like, man, people love this post. You probably want to pin that if it's in alignment with what you want to be known for, right? And you can pin 3 at the top. You can also pin 3 reels on your Reels tab when you click Reels. You can do that too. So you could think about that. But I love that there's a mix of seeing who you are, seeing your artwork, having something, a piece of text, and you've got a really nice mix of content. I think some of this visually could be cleaned up just a little bit, but your art's awesome. You've got a fun mix. It looks like a lot of fun. When you're doing things like that, you want to fill the frame whenever you can. And I guess the only thing I would add, I loved seeing this one, and this seemed to perform really well. I think you have an opportunity of playing more. Everybody has an opportunity of playing more with Reels. Playing more with quick cuts, faster cuts, like maybe this is cut into something else. with you, kind of make it really interesting. People love to watch the process. Maybe it's mixing the paint, your videotaping, you painting an image, and then you speed it up so we see like the whole thing. Kind of play with that because people love to see video. And when we're doing reels, we get in front of new people more often. It's the way to reach and grow and mix it in with high value and things like that. But I think there's a lot of things you are doing really well. I do, like I said, I love the mix. And I'd also be paying attention to like what is getting response. Typically, I can tell you, it's when we're telling a story. When we tell some kind of story, people tend to pay attention, they'll comment more. So everyone can benefit from adding more storytelling to their posts and just getting more clear on, this is what I'm about. This is what my art is about. This is what matters to me. And then practice the art of storytelling with each post. So those are all things that can really help. Woo! So what'd y'all think? Was that helpful? There's so much that we can do. And I want to say the goal when people people interact with your content, I want you to be known for one thing. That takes time. For an artist, it's really their why. Why do they even do what they do? What difference do they want to make in the world? And for service providers like Natalie, whether you're health and fitness, whether you're a business consultant, an expert of any kind, I want you to have some kind of angle that you're known for. You all are boutique specialist brands because you're small, and that's where I like to see people grow into being that highly specialized boutique brand that can charge more, that is known for one thing. And that's the goal. I mean, we start with kind of playing around with what we like to do and all of that. I want to bring in the focus so that you're very focused on one type of persona. And I have something for y'all. One type of persona, and you're known for one thing that helps you stand out. So I have a couple announcements. First of all, right off the bat, we have our Fall Ignite class where we go over all of this in the most detail of any program I know. I'm literally walking you through in a small group all of these things, your why, your target audience. We do market research, what your X factor is. What is it that you do that no one else does? We pull everything together with the most in-depth content system and marketing strategic system. So all of this is just a breeze. And we start in September and we have a wait list. And if this is something you're like, I know I need this, I know my messaging isn't on point, I know I need to get more clear, we kick off in September. It's a 2-month deep dive, and just type waitlist if that's something that you would like to get on, because we do have one. The other thing I want to mention is you heard me talk about a persona. I have recently done, it's super cool, a new quiz that generates your persona. And if you want to take that quiz, just type persona and in the comments and we'll get that to you. So two really cool things. And I will be back every Wednesday at the same time. And I just switched time zones, so I have to remember what time zone am I in. So the same time every week, it's 11 Central. I think I can remember that. 11 Central on Wednesdays. A lot of Wednesdays, we're only going live in the group. We're going to be doing a lot of exciting things here in our Facebook group. So stay tuned for some exciting changes to give you more value, to really help you grow an incredibly impactful brand and business. That's the goal. So if you have any questions at all, drop them, and I will see everyone next week. Thanks so much, everyone. Happy Wednesday.